Hi, welcome to Matters of the Heart and Soul. I'm your host, Janie Charlot. Matters of the Heart and Soul is a podcast to raise awareness and awaken humanity to all that is within. We want to be a beacon of light on your life journey. Hi, welcome to Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. This is Janie Charlot, your host. And on today's episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast, we are talking about mastering emotions and emotional intelligence. So, why master our emotions? Well, we can motivate, inspire, we can encourage, and we can just really be in touch with others just by being a master over our own emotions. If we cannot really recognize the emotions in ourselves, it's going to be very, very hard to recognize emotions in others. Most people believe that everything that happens to them is related to the environment or the circumstances surrounding it. But the truth is, we are actually creating our own emotions that we feel. So let me just break that down for you guys a little bit. So, for example, if I'm fired from my job, I'm probably going to feel upset about that. I'm probably going to feel maybe sad about that. If I get a compliment on my shirt, I may feel very happy. I may feel very joyous. If I lose my money, I may feel very fearful because, hey, where am I going to get more money to replace the money I've lost? I may fear, I may feel lack, or I may feel some scarcity. If I start a new project, I may feel some anxiety about that because I don't know the outcome of that. If I've lost a loved one, or if I've ended a relationship that I thought was going to, last, I may feel very depressed about that, or I may feel some type of way of lack or, shame and doubt because of that. So when we look at that and we examine it, it kind of seems like there is a circumstance or a situation, such as, losing a job. And then there is the emotion that we feel, which would be angry or upset. And it seems like these two things would coexist. You have the circumstance, then you have the relating emotion. The truth is, we only feel the emotion because of our thoughts regarding the circumstance. So if I got a promotion at my job and I was expecting it, then my emotion would most likely be more like, okay, that's cool. I'm not too excited and I'm not really sad about that. I'm just sort of neutral about it. But if I got a promotion and I was not expecting it, then my thoughts, because I was not expecting it, I'm thinking, wow, I was not expecting that. I would feel very elated. I would feel excited. Oh my gosh, I have a promotion. So, how it all works is the external circumstance, such as a job promotion, occurs. Then our thoughts happen regarding that circumstance. So the circumstance doesn't really hold any weight. A job promotion is just a job promotion. There's really no emotion attached to that. But our thoughts create the emotion that we feel regarding that circumstance. So if you could understand what I'm saying, it's basically external circumstance, then you begin to form thoughts regarding that external circumstance. That's why two people can experience the same situation and totally come out of it with two different emotions, because our thoughts go through a filter. And depending on how that filter hits us, that's the emotion we decide to adapt regarding that circumstance. And really, if you could truly master the consciousness over the filter, over the circumstance, and realizing that you don't have to respond to your outside circumstances in a negative way just because the outside circumstance is negative. You could truly master so many things in your life and truly get the best out of life. So I really wanted to give 7 ways on how to master emotions and gain that emotional intelligence so that we could create the life that we want regardless of the outside situation. So, step 1 is identify your emotion. You have to know what you're feeling. If you're just going about life feeling, but cannot identify what you are feeling, that's not good. That's actually pretty dangerous. You really want to ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this right now? Is there a root cause to this feeling that I'm feeling? And for example, we use the term depression very loosely, but sometimes if we sit there and identify the emotion, we have to say, well, is it really depression or is it loneliness? Because perhaps those two emotions can kind of show up in the same way. It could feel the same way in the body. You know, loneliness, you may not want to go out by yourself. You just want to stay home. You feel like you're alone in the world. Depression could show up the same way. So, what is it that you're really feeling? Identify the emotion. Step 2 is accept the emotions that you are feeling. There is absolutely no way you can gain mastery over emotions by suppressing your emotions. You have to accept the emotions that you're feeling. So, for example, if I'm starting a new project and hey, this is something new, this is going to stretch me a little bit, this is going to grow me a little bit, I feel a little bit anxious about it. I've accepted that anxiety. I've identified it as anxiety. I have identified why I'm feeling this way, and I'm going to allow myself to work through it. So that's step 2. Accept the emotion you are feeling. Step 3 is analyze the emotion. Be very, very curious on why this emotion is showing up. Okay. I always like to say, I'm feeling this. What can I learn from this? What is this emotion trying to teach me? Is this occurring a lot in my life? Am I constantly responding in this same emotional way? Analyze the emotion. Be curious on what it is that this emotion is trying to bring up in you. Is there some deep healing that has to occur? Have you realized that there was some suppression that was there from a long time ago, and now it's all coming back up because every time it would come up, you would suppress it back down. So, step 3 is analyze that emotion. Be curious. Why is this happening? Why am I feeling this way? How do I work through this emotion? Step 4 is consciously choose how to respond to that emotion. I like this one because this really takes emotional intelligence and emotional recognition in yourself and others. So, if you're a person that no matter what, your response is anger. You're in traffic, you're angry. Somebody tell you something, you're angry. You hear something on the news, you're angry. Your emotional response to everything is anger. So, in this step, you want to be consciously aware on how you're going to respond. Instead of being angry, choose understanding. Instead of being angry, ask questions. You want to consciously know how to respond. If I've always been angry, that has not served me good so far in my life, then it's time to switch it up. So you want to consciously choose how to respond to an emotion. And if you notice in your life, it's a lot of angry, because remember, emotions is just energy in motion. So everything that you're emoting is angry. How can you change that? All right. Step 5 is know and forgive emotional triggers. You have to know your emotional triggers. Whether it's a person, whether it's a place, sometimes you could walk into a place and it triggers some type of emotion. Every time you speak to someone on the phone, it triggers an emotion. Know your emotional triggers and avoid them. And when I say forgive the emotional triggers, that means learning how to detach, learning how to say, hey, this is a trigger, but it no longer has me responding to it in the way I used to. So when you come across that person that was a trigger, you won't respond in the same way because you realize that's a trigger and I'm not going to respond to it in the same way that I always have. At that point, you have detached from it and you have gained mastership over that step. So know and forgive emotional triggers, guys. Step 6 is see the bigger picture. Emotions zoned in, it keeps you very hyper focused on the current situation. But when you broaden your view and your perspective, you see the bigger picture. Everything that is happening to us, I truly tell you, is to serve a larger purpose, larger than you or I could ever imagine. And sometimes emotions at the moment can allow us to do things that 5-10 years down the road could cause some things in our life that we cannot undo. This is how you hear people snap in the blink of a eye. An emotion, anger or whatever it was, caused some snap decisions to be made. At that moment, you have to back away and see the bigger picture. The emotion that I'm feeling right now, will I care about this in 24 hours? Will I care about this in another year? Will this emotion serve me in the next 5 years? The emotion I'm having right now, will it serve me any kind of way in the next 5 years? We have to see the bigger picture. Step 7 is take action. This is when you're being proactive and you're actually transforming your emotions and you're taking control and you are responding in a way that you actually are dictating the environment for yourself. And you are always in control, guys. No matter the environment, no matter the outside situation, you are always in control of yourself. If I walk into someone else's room, someone else's office, and their energy is in there, I know no matter what is going on in that particular office, I have control over my internal peace because I like peaceful environments and tranquil environments and just joy. So I know that I truly can take control over my own internal environment because I have control over my emotions. So, really quickly, I want to recap on those 7 steps to mastering emotions and gaining that emotion intelligence that we all can have to truly gain control over the life that we want to create. Step 1 was identify your emotions. Step 2, accept the emotions you're feeling. Step 3, analyze the emotions. Step 4, consciously choose how to respond to the emotions. Step 5, know and forgive emotional triggers. Step 6, see the bigger picture. And step 7, take action. Guys, you are in control. You are truly in control of yourself. So, this has been another episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. My name is Janie Charlot. This podcast is inspired by love, God, relationships, spirituality, justice, culture, family, children, finances, freedom, personal growth, energy and vibrations, universal principles, health, education, masculine and feminine energy, music, and all things of the heart and soul. Our mission of this podcast is to reconnect our hearts with our minds. We appreciate you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. We are on all podcasting platforms. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We appreciate you guys so much. Until next time and next episode, Stay aligned. Take care.